Welcome to another episode of the PantyNectar podcast. It is episode 100 that you are joining us today for. Here I have Mr. P with me.
Hello, thank you so much, PantyNectar.
And we are so happy to be here. We decided to take this a little bit outdoors. You'll hear the birds. It's kind of very peaceful.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost right now in the birds, watching everything.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
And you're looking beautiful in your snake skin. What do you call them things? Yoga shorts, tights?
Yeah,
What are those?
just like shorts, spandex shorts.
Are those like rattlesnake? You look like a
They
rattlesnake.
do, right? Kind of spicy a little bit.
Yeah, it's hot.
Thank you.
You could. We got a camera on you too. You could stand up
They're
and show the booty.
They're a winner.
Dang.
Yeah, love these things. Very comfortable. A little bit longer. I always talk about the products that we use because I really love all the products that we use, and I'm really not sponsored, guys. I should be, but
Yeah. We're literally sponsored by no one. So if you hear us say anything about anything, it's our
Ourselves.
true, honest opinion.
Our
It's probably a
fans.
terrible one at that, but
yeah.
yes, thank you so much, PantyNectar, for having me on this 100th
Yes,
episode.
absolutely.
And it's great to be with you. And you recently ran a marathon.
Yes.
How did that go for you?
How did it go? It was very good. If you've been following along to the spaces on X that I do or the live streams on OnlyFans, you guys saw that back in I think around September, I decided to I've never ran a marathon. I don't think I've ever ran over a half marathon before. And I always hurt extremely bad after a half marathon because I'm not very good about the training. But I decided I'm going to go for it. I signed up. I was like, I'm going to have all this time to prepare and train.
Yeah.
And I think that is where it all starts right there. And so I did for a little bit, but life got in the way. I stopped training probably a month or two before. I cut back on my running a lot. And so the marathon went better than I could have ever imagined. I thought I would hurt a lot more. And I really didn't start hurting until probably mile 19, 20.
Dang.
And it was on the countdown for me at that point. I was like, okay, when I hit 20, that's when we start the 6, 5, 4, 3. And so I'm physically got myself to 20 and then mentally got myself to 26.2.
Oh, wow.
Because it hurt quite a bit. I'm not going to lie. I was running in shoes that I had bought the evening prior to the marathon. They were Hoka's, I think Clifton 9s or the shoe, and I give it to that shoe. It was absolutely amazing. If you are an avid road runner, then I definitely recommend those. They were great for me anyways. One thing that I noticed right off the bat is usually, these are my Nobles. These are lifting pair of shoes. I was lifting this morning, so I have my Nobles on. But the Clifton 9s, they did a great job of not blistering my toes. My toes didn't feel crammed. Some shoes almost are too elevated, so I feel like I run and it smushes my toes the whole time. I didn't have any of those problems with the shoe. The shoe was probably the best part about the race, honestly. Really? Yeah. I was super surprised, but I'm very grateful that I went with them, and now that I know if I'm running a road race, those are the shoes to wear.
And they were Hoka's, right?
Hoka's, yeah. So
Clifton 9s. Did you have to size up or size down in them, or were they kind of consistent?
No, they were perfect.
And you didn't have any blisters or anything, right?
I did.
And that was you bought the shoes the day before, literally
the night before. I did not wear them until the marathon.
Wow.
That morning. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
That's
recommend
wild.
that.
Yeah, that's
I don't recommend that, but it worked out for me, and I'm very grateful. What's funny is my friend actually picked those. We were at the Houston Marathon, and they have a huge expo that they do, giant expo in the George R. Brown Convention Center. And my friend actually picked those shoes out, and I said, wow, those are really cute. I'm like, can I get those? And so I just tried them on, and I was like, yep, we'll go with these.
And they were all whites.
They were all white.
Yeah.
Yep.
They look good. They look good. I've never ran in Hoka's. I ran in Ultras for a long time, and I really like that. I have such a wide foot that it's, the Ultras, they have a wide toe box. So it was nice for me because, you know, when my feet land, they kind of like space out more in
Yeah.
that wider toe
I
box.
like
allows your
room
feet, yeah.
a little bit.
But those Ultras, man, they're good shoes, and I never had any problems with them. But man, are they ugly?
Yeah.
It's just like,
Because they look like frog feet or
oh,
something.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, they're
fin
just
things.
strange. Look, I'm like, couldn't you do something a little bit different with this design on the side? I get you got to make a wider shoe, but you don't have to. But nonetheless. Oh, and then the thing is the first shoe that I got from Ultra was the Ultra Instinct 1.5, and it was just like their general shoe, right? And the thing with Ultra was, I bought those shoes after I had read Born to Run, which I know I've talked about. And so I first started running with the Vibram Five Fingers, you know, but those I actually, they look so, you talk about looking silly, right? Those look silly as shit. But I like do like trails and stuff. I actually really enjoyed running with those, but they were so hard to put on, and I don't know. I just like you get in a groove. They kind of get broken into your foot, but I don't know. I wanted a regular shoe to run in. So the Ultras, at least the Instinct one, they're a zero drop. You know, so from the heel to the toe.
I do like that, yeah.
Is it equal versus most shoes have a higher heel and lower forefoot, so you're kind of angled forward a little bit, and depending on who and what you read, that could, some people suggest that's not the best for you.
Right.
And especially depending on your running style and your body. And of course, the biggest part is your body, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
And that's what we all have to understand. Like, if you hear us talking about things like this, or you're reading a book or whatever it is, or, whatever it is, to do with running or lifting weights or training or what to eat, what not to eat. Reality is everybody's different.
Yeah, you just have to figure it out.
Yeah, so the Ultras, I love them, and I ran the Instinct 1.5s for like a year and a half until like the soles were literally like starting to have holes in them, So I went back to buy them again. They didn't make them.
Oh.
They were already on like the 2s or the 2 point, like
Yeah.
the newest thing, and I was totally new to the Ultra line. I'm like, wait a second, like y'all
Missed
aren't making.
out.
Yeah, so like I
Darn.
bought the newest Instinct, the 2.5s or whatever they were at that time, and they were just not the same shoe.
Yeah.
And so then I started running in Brooks, and that's just kind of what I run in
I was
now.
going to say, like, I trained, in ASICs for all those months that I was running. And I think you remember I had ordered a pair that I thought was like the ASICs I had been running in, and they weren't the same pair. They were a different shoe, and they did not. My foot was so, even just wearing them casually to walk around, like my toes would hurt. They would feel too like cramped into the shoe,
Right.
no matter how much I loosened the laces or anything. So I'm definitely glad that I made that switch to the Hokas and that they performed so well. And then, like I said, the marathon was pretty good. Like, I think I have pretty good mental toughness. And so I knew that I could do it. It was just like about how much it was going to hurt during that process. And I was doing a 2-minute run, 30-second walk kind of throughout the whole thing. And like the last 4 or 5 miles, I was like, I have to stop. I have to either run or walk, because the stopping and then the getting yourself going again. I was running, and I'm kid you not, like tears were just coming down my face. My friend was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm not, but I don't want to talk about it because it's gonna mess me up. So we just need to finish." And so I did. And then they did things different this year. So usually, right when you cross the finish line, they give you your medal. They give you kind of like banana, whatever food, Gatorade, water, right there through
You're like, banana.
Yeah. Wink, wink. I'm like, give me that one, please. Yeah. So, but this time they actually had you like walk in a trail like through the George R. Brown Convention Center, and it got to the point where I was like, okay, like
You feel like you're at an IKEA?
I ran my 26 mile. That is exactly what it felt like. I was like, I ran my 26 miles. Like, where are the seats to sit down? I'm so ready to stop walking. I didn't even want to walk at that point. And I found a chair somewhere. I sat down for a second while, we got food and things like that. Well, when we got up to leave and to walk back to the Airbnb we were staying at, which was just a few streets away, I couldn't get up from the chair. Like, when I tell you, my knees and my hips, everything just was like a grind to stand back up. It was so painful walking back. We got back to the Airbnb. I managed to take a really hot bath, which felt really good. And then I just like didn't move because everything, I think I have a picture where I'm like this in bed and like my eyes are glossed over because I'm in so much pain. And like, you could just tell my face is puffy from everything. It was crazy. So I was like, yeah, I did that, and I'll probably never do that again.
How many miles total do you think you trained since September when you signed up?
Okay, so
Because we could go back and
what
look
a
at
way
your...
to call this is okay. This is Mr. P calling me out, you guys.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking.
I got a
because to me it shows the level of toughness. It's like you listen to David Goggins' book Can't Hurt Me, and he talks about that 100-mile race he ran with like literally no training, and like well, the training he was doing was just like weight training to where he was this big dude. He said and like no cardio at all, and then he shows up to the start line of a 100-mile race and fucking just thrashed himself. But he said like what it took to do that mentally was a whole nother level versus showing up being well trained, and of course it's going to be hard. Absolutely. I've never done anything like, never ran a marathon. I don't want to compare myself to you or Goggins or anything like this. But I'm just saying the mental toughness it takes to show up to do that versus being, well refined leading up to that, I think is one, it may show a lack of discipline. It may show a lack of discipline, but it also shows a level of toughness, I guess.
It is definitely probably not the best habit. I don't recommend not training and going out and trying to run these races. I kind of know that I can be in that place and work really well in that place.
And you kind of like pain.
I do a little bit. So I enjoy being in that place a whole lot. So I wasn't necessarily worried about that. One thing that I didn't want to do, and this isn't an excuse for not training, but I also didn't want to be training constantly because this was, some of the hottest days of the year were through here when I was running outside at like 12, 1, 2 o'clock. But I didn't want to lose so much weight because I was running so much that like come marathon time, I'm like, I just naturally lose so much weight when I'm consistently running. And so that kind of worried me. I didn't want to drop too much weight. And so that kind of played a part in it as well mentally. But I probably followed
because you are very thin.
Yes.
I mean, and that's one thing that you struggle to keep on weight.
Yeah, I have to be
You're one of
lifting.
those persons that everybody envies, including myself. It's like you have to make a conscious effort to lift weights
and
eat
like
a
do
lot.
And people, it's crazy. People, I always, especially growing up, like you always hear people, they're like, eat a cheeseburger. And I'm like, you guys obviously don't follow me on Instagram because I will slam a whole pizza. Like they don't understand.
California pizza.
I think I kind of like intuitively eat. I don't like eat breakfast, get up and eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat this. Like I just kind of eat when my body tells me that I'm hungry and I listen to that. Now, if you're wanting to gain weight or gain muscle, that's not the way to do it. You need to be eating and you need to be making eating a priority. But that just, and then when I'm running a whole lot, my calorie burn is just like through the roof. So I probably trained for, I want to say I probably stuck to my little 2-3 mile days for 2 or 3 weeks. And then I did one day where I went out and ran a half marathon.
Yeah.
So that was the extent of my training for the marathon.
Yeah, and also the place.
Oh, that's so crazy.
But also the place that we like to run at around here, it's kind of limited on some space.
Yeah.
They completely like blocked off for a few months, like for the whole Christmas and holiday season.
Even before.
It
Christmas.
started like in, they blocked it off.
Like November or something.
Yeah. And so it made it more difficult. And then it's just like, for me, like been so out of sync with running and weather too, like we've discussed, like now I get like the whole like Seattle like, you know,
Oh,
people
depression
being,
thing.
depression
Yeah.
and like people just being stuck inside because it's raining and, you know, it's cool weather. So you got to wear a coat if you do go outside. So you're not getting any sunshine. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. But now it's, the weather is nice and the flowers are starting to bloom
They
and
are.
the booty's popping that I like to see. It's
We're
looking
getting
good.
back to it. We're getting back to the rhythm. Speaking of getting back into the rhythm.
Yeah, you hear that mockingbird? That was actually a mockingbird sounding crazy.
Oh, you hear 'em?
Listen to him, yeah. Going wild.
Wow. So I was scrolling through the confessions channel on Discord. If you are new to the podcast, Discord, it is a server or an app where it's our community and the PantyNectar community, and you can join, and there are a ton of channels on there, from your pets to the food that you eat. If you're wanting to find like a safe for work part of the community, there's tons of that, photography, all kinds of things. And then in the not safe for work category, there of course is some amazing creators in there. There's a handful of girls in there that are pretty amazing. And then all the guys that are in there that you see in the main chat, everyone is like family. It's a really awesome community, and it's just a fun place to be a part of.
That Discord's been going now since, I don't, like February
It's
of
crazy.
21.
I can remember
So at
being
least
like,
4 years.
What is Discord?
Yeah,
and
I had no
how
clue.
do you even use it?
Yeah.
And thankfully, you know, we've met some amazing people along the way that, like Randy, for instance. Randy is absolutely amazing. He is also one of the main admin mods in the PantyNectar Discord server, and he is awesome. He's like the right-hand guy. We've met him in person, and he's just an amazing, super amazing guy. So shout out to our Discord community. If you're not a part of it, go join it. I'll leave a link in the show notes below for you guys. But just scrolling through the confessions channel that we have, it is an anonymous page where you can post a confession anonymously, or post a question and people can respond to you anonymously as well. So
people let it all out.
yeah, so
Say
like
whatever's on their
I'm just scrolling, like number 478 said, I know this is very picky thing to say, but it's actually a problem to have a big dick sometimes. Like, I know it's not, but in all actuality, the feeling I get when girls seem genuinely scared makes me feel like shit. It's something I can't change, and I hate it. I feel like absolute dog shit. I'm like, that is how I feel when people tell me I'm too skinny. I'm like, well, what do you want from me?
Yeah, and then this guy's like, I hate having a big dick, and I know this is an anonymous confession, but if you want to hit me up, send me an email.
Well, so then,
my email is this.
There's a response. There's a response under that, and this guy said, or I assume it's a guy. I don't know. Number 480, the anonymous reply under this says, I have an average penis. I once dated a woman who told me she was built for bigger. She was right, as I couldn't even get enough friction to come inside her.
Oh my God.
My point is, keep searching. There's a woman who's right for you. Most likely, she's of African descent, this guy said. They're crazy in
Built
there.
for bigger, that's called a fucking hoe, dude.
She said,
Like you're saying there was
built.
not enough friction.
I am literally creating like a sticker that says
God.
built for bigger. That is like the best slogan.
Built for bigger.
Built for bigger.
Yes.
Holy
Yes.
cow.
If you were the person who said that in Discord, please come out of the shadows and main chat and tell us about it.
Okay, so like confession.
I want to hear more about this guy who.
That's
yeah,
it. That's all we know.
Like, I mean, like, so what did you do? Like, stick a fucking Coke can in her pussy or some shit? Like, I mean, and then it's like, okay,
Well,
what is the definition of average? What is an average
Well,
penis?
exactly.
And then I guarantee you, I know, there's been studies and it probably says this number or that number, but like the reality is like, come on, because like I've said before, I've had people, say, hey, your fucking dick is tiny, and then I've
Yeah.
had people say your dick is huge, and it's like,
are you built for bigger?
it's like, it's like the reality is my dick is what it is, and it's fucking like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Built for bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, sorry to interrupt one more time.
You really like
That
this.
I mean, but if you are one of those guys, because let's face it,
I don't like a dick too big.
there are some guys with huge fucking
Yeah,
dicks.
I don't like that. I
No
don't
doubt
like
about
that.
it.
I don't
There's
like
dudes
that.
with like huge dicks. You're like, what the
No
fuck?
offense, but it scares me
Yeah,
too.
like,
At some point,
yeah.
it becomes not
Yeah,
comfortable.
if you're one of those that I guess you need to find this lady of African descent. This
Yes,
other dude's
that
talking
he's
about.
talking about, yes.
She's around.
That must have been that woman, yeah. Okay, 482 says, for those with a wife against anal, how did you convince her to finally do it? It's killing me, honestly. All past partners have been into it, but my wife of 1 year doesn't seem like she wants to. Any help would be appreciated.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question because like I think some chicks are just like against it, just like psychologically because they've heard people talk about it as being gross or whatever the case.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they're just like against it and like, oh, I don't do that. And then there's some chicks who have tried it or have like tried to explore with it and have been like, that's not for me.
Right. Yes.
So if your wife is one of those where she's explored with it and she hasn't found it to be pleasurable for her,
Yeah.
and she falls into that's not for her category, then you have to be very respectful towards that.
Right.
And then you kind of have to dig in. If she's open to it, this is hard to do. Like she could have had a terrible experience.
Right.
You don't know, right? That like she don't want to talk about type thing. Or it could just be like that, like, right? Like if we're being like some dude just tried to fucking ram it in her ass.
Right.
It's like, well, that's not like how you start out doing that.
You
So
use
like,
communication.
exactly. So
That's where you insert. I think it's the like SpongeBob thing where
Yeah.
it's like communication.
But if she's the type where she's just kind of been like culturally opposed to it, then
Some people
fucking get her drunk. I don't know.
I know.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
I know so many people that like friends that are just like, well, they say they're not into it. I'm like, you say anything in front of people,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
Yes.
and it's different behind closed doors. Fine,
Yes.
fine, fine. But there's some people that I met that have just really genuinely not like girls that are like, no, that's not.
yeah.
And then some girls are like, yes.
oh yeah. There's some that are like, I only want to get fucked in the ass.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You're like, yes. Okay, so last confession I'll throw at y'all. Number 474. Male, 45. I have been secretly enjoying taking black and white photos of myself fully naked. Sometimes I pose in my wife's lingerie. I love the feeling of self-expression. And so there were a couple of replies. Reply 475 says, beware, it can become an obsession. And then 479 says, at this point, he will continue. And then the OP responded and said, I will. I bought my own as I didn't feel right using hers without consent.
Oh my goodness. So now he has his own lingerie
Yes.
collection.
So that's...
And the thing is you know what, fucking good on that. Like,
Yeah. I was going to say there's so
Seriously.
many things there too. Like some people are into like using other people's, that's why some people buy my panties because they like to put on my panties,
Yeah.
you know? So that's interesting that like I was thinking that was maybe it, like taking the wife's lingerie, but no, he's like, oh, I got my own.
yeah. And that kind of goes back to like, that's
Self-expression.
not for me. But then the reality is this also one of those things, back to my previous comments about anal, like, I've never tried that.
Right.
I'm culturally opposed to that.
Yeah.
These people are probably like, Mr. P, you should throw on your fucking chick's lingerie. Like, I don't.
Oh, I could not even imagine if he did that.
I don't find any desire to do that. So.
Put
I'll
you
just,
in one of my skirts.
Yeah. Fucking
The pink one.
thongs.
Yeah. Yeah, and here's the
These
thing,
snakeskin
like
tights.
that first off, this guy's obviously saying like he loves the freedom of expression and that. I think that's amazing. If you can find things that make you feel like that, you know, having a good workout outfit and going to work out is what makes me feel really good, and I
Yeah.
express myself through that. Hot pink shoes, things like that. So
But also understand what is happening here is this person is doing it themselves. They're enjoying it.
Yeah.
They're, they're just doing their thing. and they're not out there screaming at people that they must accept them for being this way because that's
Right.
the way they want to be,
Exactly.
and it's we're going to do this like they just living their life, doing their
Yes,
thing, fucking
and-
buying their own lingerie and taking black and white photos. Good for you, you know?
Yeah, especially in the Discord. You know, if you maybe have been reluctant to join because you feel like it may be a weird place to kind of express yourself, I do just want to say it's an amazing place. We have amazing
Yeah.
people in there. We do not tolerate any type of shaming like that, and it's just a really great community. I mean, there's
Yeah.
even a fitness page, and like Charmy, she's always in that fitness page posting. Everyone's talking about what they're doing. It's a very great space
Yeah.
to be a part of.
Discord, and that's the thing, you know, Discord is, you can create it to be the server, if you will, the app, in this case, well, not the app because the app is Discord, but the
Yes.
server is PantyNectar Discord or PantyNectar server, and so you can build that out, you know, in your channels and all that kinds of stuff the way you want to. So the way it's been built out is really, really cool, and it's so much more than just not safe for work. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
and I don't know how many people are in there now, but
Let's
there's
see.
over 40,000 or something. I mean, there's a lot of people,
Let's see.
and
47,098.
yeah, there you go, 47,000 people. So, and these people are from all over the world.
Yes.
And from people from all walks of life, all points of view. But they're in the Discord, you know, like you said, everybody's treated with respect, and
Yeah.
everybody's kind towards each other. And if you have any questions, people would happily answer them there. If you have a confession,
Yeah.
this is the place to put it. And of course, keep all confessions
And
legal, or they will be deleted.
And you know, there's a level of safety in the Discord as well. Like the people that do share photos of themselves or of things, those people are required to verify that they are at least who, you know, if they're saying they're a male, they're a male, or if they're saying they're a woman, then they're actually a woman on there, and not a guy scamming. So we do
Right.
take a level of that, and we do always tell people, like, check people's roles. It's right there for you to see. You can see if someone's verified. So say someone goes into the DMs, we don't have any control of that, but what you can do is go
Yes.
into the server and check their roles, see if they're a verified or if they have any other roles assigned to them.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point you said about the DMs. That needs to be,
Yeah.
like, even people that use Discord don't understand that DMs, you can spoof screen names, basically. Not in a server, but in a DM, essentially you can. So like if you know, somebody, put it this way, don't chat with anybody in the DMs in Discord.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like that's one of the things I learned from the, you know, like the crypto Discord servers is like, just turn your DMs off.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have them on.
I was going to
period.
say, one thing you can do, which is what I do, is it all goes into a request folder, and then I can view those requests and see if I want to approve them, not to go into my actual inbox and, you know, chit chat with that person. So that level of safety is there. You guys can always check out, and like, you can always let me know. One guy actually on there, he always messages me, and he's like, hey, so-and-so is messaging me. I don't think they're verified. And I'm like, thank you, you're the best. And it's always just people. I mean, that's what Discord, it's open to everything. So we just do what we can. And we always tell you, go into your settings, turn your DMs to that, turn it off if you need to do that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I love Discord.
I know, it's fun.
It's a great place. And you know, Discord, like when we first started, like, Telegram's kind of the same thing too.
Yeah.
But like, I do not like, I don't know, like Discord, I just like the vibe of Discord much better. But there's some people who are like all about Telegram, and they do that, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
The internet is an amazing place.
Yes, it is. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please leave us a 5-star review and a comment below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say, or maybe a recommendation for next episode, what you guys want to hear for
101.
101.
Like 101 Dalmatians.
That's right.
We'll be dressed up like fucking dogs.
Dogs. Oh, that'd be so good. Like some pink stuff. Yes.
What's going on?
All right. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will talk to you next time.
See ya.